What is your sexual fantasy that will remain a fantasy? Boyfriend turns into an alien monster and destroys me with his 100 tentacle cocks. Private island, sex on the beach. Since it's a fantasy, the sand is this magical material that looks the same and feels cool and soft, but does not stick to your body. Not a grain of sand in any crevices to stick to any of your parts. It doesn't matter if you're wet from the ocean, sweaty, etc. No sand anywhere. Just the sun, crashing ocean waves, and my magic sand. And my hair looks awesome, damp and wind-blown, not like the tangled, unbrushed mop that it usually looks like when it's wet and windy. I'm standing in some sort of sun god robes on a pyramid with 1,000 naked women screaming and throwing little pickles at me. My wife being comfortable enough with her body to let me fully undress her during foreplay and sexual acts. She's given birth to 5 kids, and no matter how much I tell her how beautiful she is, she won't let me. I break into Tiffany's at midnight. Do I go for the vault? No, I go for the chandelier. It's priceless. As I'm taking it down, a woman catches me. She tells me to stop. It's her father's business. She's Tiffany. I say no. We make love all night. In the morning, the cops come and I escape in one of their uniforms. I tell her to meet me in Mexico, but I go to Canada. I don't trust her. Besides, I like the cold. 30 years later, I get a postcard. I have a son and he's the chief of police. This is where the story gets interesting. I tell Tiffany to meet me by the Trocadero in Paris. She's been waiting for me all these years. She's never taken another lover. I don't care. I don't show up. I go to Berlin. That's where I stashed the chandelier. I doubt I'll ever be a sex demon summoned one night by a young woman looking for vengeance and the cost of my services being her becoming my toy. Going down on a woman laying on a grand piano on the stage of a beautiful opera house. Without an audience, lol. I just think the setting would be beautiful. Gorgeous opulent rooms turn me on. Add a beautiful woman to that scenario and yow. My perfect fantasy. Blowjobs. Did all kind of debauchery in bed, dildos, anal plugs, softcore BDSM. But when it comes to blowjobs, she just won't do it, says she doesn't like it. I respect my woman and her likes and dislikes in sex, but since this is the first and only real relationship I got ever since I was 19, 25 now, getting a BJ is just this fantasy for me. For those that says penetrative is best, I can't really comment in this matter since that's all I got, and you all know that sometimes the thing that you can't do or get makes you crave for it even more. Guess that's just me. Female boss calls me into her office, tears off my clothes with her bare hands, ties me to her desk, and has her way with me. I am at a house party and my girlfriend ties me to the bed and throughout the night different women come in to sit on my face. Being in the middle of 2 men, but hopelessly restricted, guess I want it to be like those sexually broken videos, but alas I'm too emotionally sensitive for it to really ever happen. Having sex while hundreds of people watch. I had a dream about that when I was much younger and the thought of it turned me on so much. Being with a woman. I am happily married to my husband, but the thought of being with a beautiful woman just fuels my fantasies, and I'm okay with it being a fantasy. I want to be completely dominated. My husband is an absolute love and such a gentle teddy bear. He just doesn't have it in him. Being taken against a wall of an upscale performing arts center by my so who's wearing a tux while I wear a fancy dress. Or being teased and felt up in the back of an Uber or limo in the same garb following such an event. And of course an all-night fuckfest that leaves our bedroom looking as if a windstorm blew through it and our bodies completely sore and worn out. Honestly. Just an intimate session where you can feel that they love you for who you are. You feel warm and fuzzy, and all the stress just drips away. You feel happy and content. It's just you and them. When I was younger, 48/M, a lot of partners used to scratch my back so hard it would draw blood. The shower the next day always stung in a very satisfying way. My wife won't do that no matter how elated she gets, she says she refuses to hurt me. However, these days, I'm an old dad, my fantasy is for the kids, 2 and 6, to go to bed early enough so that my wife and I aren't too tired. That would be awesome. Being able to go to some private cabin/rental where my wife and I could live completely naked and have sex whenever we wanted, could swim in a pool/hot tub for a week or so. Having sex in my beautiful 5-bedroom home with views of water, designed by my with its own large expansive porch, lots of natural lighting, nestled in among some pines. Also complete with a large greenhouse space acting as the central piece of the home. To host a party where I serve everyone while I'm in lingerie and a cute butt plug. After a point, I'm tied up to be played with while the rest watch and have the option to join in or masturbate/fuck, but they have to come on me or in me.